Note taking focuses on noticing and identifying the repeating themes and patterns that the people that you're observing use during meetings. Think about the stories that they tend to tell. Are they their own stories? Or does it feel like they're repeating the corporate line and perhaps it's something that they don't really strongly believe in? Do they seem to pick up on the key issues at play, or are they more likely to kind of send the discussion in a different direction, usually towards their pet peeve? Think about the words that they keep coming back to. We all have preferences for the way we think and therefore communicate. So listen and notice. Some people use phrases like, well, I hear you saying this, or what you seem to be communicating to me is this. Whereas other people will say things like, I see what you mean, or the picture that I get, or the way I see this issue. So they're much more visual in their language. You might notice that Mary, for example, is much more likely to say things like, well, what I've thought about here, or what I've considered, or the rationale, or the logic. Whereas perhaps Fred might say something like, I feel there's something else going on here, or I feel like they were just heading off track on this issue. Perhaps people are funny in their approach, or they're more serious. Are they bold and dramatic, or more reserved and understated? Now, I'm not suggesting for a moment that you turn yourself into the same person that they are. But what I am saying is that when we can adjust our own way of approaching a topic and the language that we use to the degree that it still feels like it's authentically us, then people will be more likely to hear what it is that we're actually saying. Also, look out for buzzwords, things like, well, let's circle back to this next time, or I think we really need to take an agile approach. Often, when we hear these kind of flavor of the month words, it's because people are trying to impress someone, which suggests maybe they're not sure of their topic, or maybe they're not sure of their kind of position in the pecking order. And finally, notice what isn't being said. Is there an elephant in the room? And what might that be? And as we discussed yesterday, as we observe and record this data, we're slowly building up a picture about the communication preferences of those people we're wanting to influence. And that allows us to communicate more powerfully.